Hey, we're going to talk about Git commands today. This is all things CS. And before we get started, just to preface a few things, if you are using something like Github Desktop to do your version control, I highly recommend you uninstall this. Also, you will need to have a couple things. So you need to have a public key set up for your repository, and I'll touch on that a little bit, as well as I am working on Windows today, and I will be using Git Bash as my terminal. Let's get started. Okay, you can see here we have the generating new SSH key and adding it to SSH agent. You'll need to do this before you can basically push things or merge things to a branch. So you'll do that part, and then this part right here, generating a new SSH key, and then adding the SSH key to your SSH agent. And then you will find the key that it will require that you put in your profile settings. This one, and then it should be maybe a .pub. It explains there as well. So you just go in here, go to your settings, and then it will be in this one right there, the SSH and GPG keys. Okay. Alright, and then once you create a repository, you'll have all this stuff here. And what you'll want to do is you'll just copy that and then paste it into your terminal. I'm not going to do that right now because I already have another branch that I'm working with, this one. And so let's get into here. So basically you would copy all that stuff and then just paste it into here. It'll run through, and then you'll have your Git repo set up on your local. Alright, so let's check out what's here already. We have a new file, new things. Those are just some files. And so one thing that we want to do is, we're on our main branch. We want to make branches to basically modify things to our main branch. We don't want to do everything on main. It's like working on a project that's amazing. Then you keep working on it, and then eventually you mess things up. You mess things up so bad that there aren't enough undos to save your life. And that's one nice thing about branches. So we have our main branch right here, and then we'll create a different branch that will come off here. Now we create this branch, but this branch is totally local until we make commits, okay? So basically, we need to make a commit for there to be changes, and also before we can do a commit, we have to add any changes that we made. So basically, I'll get into it in a little bit, but there's going to be the staging, and when we add those things to the staging so that you can commit them, and then you push them to your branch. And then after that, you're satisfied with everything, you can make a merge request to merge your changes into the main branch. Alright, let's get started. So we're going to do get branch as our first command. This is going to see what branch we're on and what other branches we have. Okay, it shows main new branch. Let's look at our repo here. Branch. We only have one branch. Well, that's because I deleted the other one, and that new branch is still just on my system hanging out. So let's do this. Get branch -d, and then let's do that, tab complete, and we deleted the branch. Alright, sweet. And now we're just main branch. Well, what do we want to do to make a new branch? We do get branch new branch. Cool. And when you're, obviously when you're actually programming a project, you will call this like adding such and such, or whatever you want to call it. You could call it a new branch, but that'd be kind of strange. So, like when you go to the grocery store, you get the groceries and then you check out. So, we're going to do get checkout and then new branch. Another cool thing of get checkout is you can do get checkout and then just put a period, and any changes that aren't committed, basically, it'll revert all changes back to the last commit. So that's handy. And so we can see the little asterisk there, we're on a new branch. Alright, let's check this out. We have new file, new things, all these things as here before. Alright, well I wanna edit one of these things. So let's do new file, and this is my file. I want to add something else. This is my file that is on my new branch. And I don't like that is a lowercase and no period there, so I'm fixing that. Alright, so let's see. Let's do a get diff. Probably, oh, that's interesting. So get diff, what this is going to show us is that the differences. So we want to see what we are changing. Okay, on really big projects, you want to be able to see this because, well, you don't want to be accidentally adding a ton of stuff that's unnecessary to your project. And so it's really important. Next, we want to do a get status to see what files, what things have been changed. And we can see that this is modified. Now the red means that it's untracked right now. So if we did a git commit right now, nothing would happen. So we have to do a git add, and then dot will basically add everything. But let's do this. Let's do a git checkout just to show you what I was talking about before. Git checkout, updated one path from index, and we are going to do get diff, and nothing's changed. That's because we just removed all the stuff that we just did. But we want to re-edit that. And so there we go. Yay, we're back. Alright, now we'll do a get diff again. And it shows you the changes. Okay, let's do a get status. Now what if we want to keep changes, but we want to revert to the last commit? We can do a stash, get stash, and that's going to save all our work. And then we can do a get checkout dot, and so we'll do a get diff. No changes. We're back to our last commit, or we haven't made a commit yet, but back to how the branch started. So let's get our changes back. So let's do get stash, and hit apply. And now we're back. And so let's add that stuff. We can add that now. Alright, and let's do a get status again. I want to show you. Oh, it's green now. Okay, well that means basically that's a tracked file now. So we can commit it. And if you'd like to change that back, you can also do git restore. That's one thing about git bash, is it kind of gives you little tips here and there. So it's helpful. But we don't want to restore it. So let's do a git commit. And if you don't put this -m there, it will bring you to a Vim editor where it will prompt you to write a message, a commit message, because those are important. You want to be descriptive about what you're doing. So let's say I added to my text file. And there we go, it's committed. Alright, so let's do git push. This is going to push it. And we're just going to copy that, paste it in, if it will copy. Alright. And there we go. And so what we need to do here is just copy this as well. We're going to go to our, and what this is this is creating an open pull request. So changes to main, yeah. It's just checking, making sure that everything's good and dandy. And let's just confirm that merge. Sweet, it merged. And as we can see here now, there are 2 branches. And it shows that this one merged into main. And you can delete this branch if you'd like. That's totally okay, because it's all in main now. If we look at main, we can see 2 minutes ago there was a change here of that. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, we can delete that. It's deleted. Let's go back to main. Check out main. And then let's do git pull. Because remember, we did not pull the most recent changes. We merged them on GitHub, but none of that happened here locally. So we have to do a git pull to apply those changes. And as you can see, it says right here 3. 1 file change, 2 insertions, 1 deletion. Those are the basics of git commands. I hope that was helpful. As always, like down below, and please subscribe. If you have any tips or suggestions for videos that you'd like, please leave those in the comments as well. Thanks. Have a good day.